Tortora here for another edition of Who's Got Next. You know our series here with Game Point Sports Complex, 211 South Center Street in East Syracuse, the place to train, obviously to have your practices, and we've had games here as well: basketball, pickleball, volleyball, floor hockey, field hockey, cheerleading, and more. I am sitting next to someone that I know all too well, Miss Amani Free, and her team practices here. She's had the opportunity to get a feel for this place. So first and foremost, Miss Free, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well. What is it like to be at Game Point Sports Complex? You and I both grew up in this community and never had a place like this.
Right. I think it's such a great opportunity for these young athletes to have such an amazing venue to be able to have access to not only develop their game, but to have people come in and look and watch their games, you know?
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, it's a great place. It's unique because it's 365 days of the year. And at the time we're talking, there's plenty of snow outside.
Right.
So, I mean, a place like this that is climate controlled, it's not going to be crazy cold, it's not going to be crazy hot. I mean, it literally is a controlled environment. So just what that's like to have a place that we can come to no matter what it looks like outside.
I think it's a blessing, you know, to be able to just have such an easy access, and shout out to Mr. Jim to allow us to be able to access this gym as well, providing us an opportunity for teams and individuals to get better.
For you, if you had a place like this, like I know you trained like crazy, and first time I met you, you were outside. If you had a place like this, would you sleep here?
If I was allowed a bed, maybe.
So, I mean, for you, there's different things that are here. I mean, there's the machines that if you're here training yourself, you can, you know, set the machine up and it'll pass the ball to you. And so that's like great help. I know for someone like you that, you know, grew up getting shots up and sometimes you're out there alone. Same thing for me where, you know, you're shooting and hoping that it hits the bottom of the hoop so it'll bounce back to you, because if it doesn't, it starts rolling the other way. So even to have something like that, the technology to be a Game Point and to have these, you know, shooting machines that are able to essentially give you a passer when you don't have one.
Yeah, I think the technological advances in the game is just such a tremendous help for young athletes coming along. I think it provides them not only a way to develop their shot, but to improve their game overall.
So, I mean, how do you feel like this has helped your team to have this environment and have this opportunity, have the professionalism of a place like Game Point?
I think it's good. I think it's going to benefit the city of Syracuse. I think it's going to provide athletes a leeway to improve themselves and be an outlet for new opportunities outside of Syracuse.
Yeah, and I mean, for you to, you know, have a place like this, it's not too far away from home where you grew up. What does it do for not just, you know, a team, and in your case, you know, being a head coach at Bryan and Stratton of Syracuse, but to really anybody, right? To a kid that is just looking to get better, maybe they're just getting into a sport, be it basketball or anything. What do you think it does for our community to build up Central and Upstate New York, and maybe the profile of what we can offer in the community?
I think it shows that Syracuse is a developing city, you know, that we're willing to expand and bring up our people within our community and just be better overall.
So on top of all of that and what this brings to the area, you and I always talk about a lot of different things. And, you know, women's basketball, at least in my opinion, in order to give it the value that people said it didn't have, you have to show it. There's this weird cycle of it wasn't on TV, it wasn't on the radio, so then people thought that it didn't matter, so they didn't care about it, and then they would argue, well, we're not going to put it on TV and radio because nobody cares about it, but you created an environment for people to not care because they didn't see it.
Right.
You really can't build the brand of something or the value of something by keeping it hidden in the shadows. So someone had to start putting the games on television, start letting us see more than the championship, put it in the newspaper, not a game or two, but everybody. So, I mean, you've seen in your lifetime and in my lifetime that there's this appreciation and respect for women's athletics that you always gave it, I always gave it. I was covering women's basketball from the beginning of my career in November 2003. So I knew it had value and I knew it had weight, and I thought it was stupid. I mean, basketball is basketball, so why are we saying men here, women here? But what has happened in the last few years that's made you believe that maybe finally people are thinking along our lines and they're actually covering women's basketball?
I think that comes along with the athletes that are coming throughout today. You know, you have Kayla Clark, Angel Reese, that are stemming from legends that we know from back in our day, which is Maya Moore, Candace Parker. And just seeing those athletes really shine and have that media outlet now that is being extended to them, and using that for exposure to women's sports is just really helping benefit us.
When you turn on the television and it's a random Tuesday or Wednesday and there's a women's basketball game on, what goes through you as someone that grew up and didn't always get to see that?
It's a pleasure to see. I think it's an eye-opening experience, knowing that this is such a development from where it started and from when I even played, and seeing it grow now.
When you look at pioneers, and you mentioned, you know, Maya Moore and Candace Parker and whatnot, I would also say Rebecca Lobo, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops. There's like the OGs of this. Who did you look up to growing up?
Oh, I actually did name them prior, you know, Maya Moore, Candace Parker. It was the people I grew up on, you know, Breonna Stewart, you know, locally. Being able to watch her come from a city that I was born and raised in, and, you know, rise to where she is now is such an inspiration, you know.
When you see someone like Bree come from this area, she played D1 ball, you played D1 ball, she's out here, #1 pick, she's won a championship in the WNBA, she had a dang near perfect 4 years at UConn, so we see her career and we see what she's doing for the game, and then we see you return here after playing professionally yourself, being overseas, being a D1 player, going to multiple places and showing your talents, both in the Northeast and in the South, and now you're a head coach. So what does that tell a student athlete from Central and Upstate New York when the Breonna Stewarts and the Amani Frees are having successful careers, playing professionally, and also, in your case, paying it forward and being a coach?
I think that just comes with the love and passion for the game, you know. Never let that die. Never let anyone try to destroy that dream. It's your dream. You hold on to it and you work for it.
Biggest thing you've learned as a head coach?
Biggest thing I learned is it's a learning experience. You're always learning something. You're never going to be perfect. You're able to always adjust and develop yourself.
Favorite moment up to this point as a head coach?
I think my favorite moment is watching each and one of my girls just slowly develop personally and athletically. You know, I think they've come a long way from the time that I met them to now, and it's just a great experience to know that I'm on this journey with them.
You said everything's a learning experience. What would you go back in time and tell yourself what you know now? If you could go back to the first day when you're named a head coach, what would you say to yourself?
Don't expect everything to be perfect. I think that comes with, again, you know, it's a learning experience. I wasn't sure what to anticipate when coming in as a head coach, but I always know that, you know, I have high expectations for myself, and I think sometimes you just have to realize, okay, it's all right that you may not have met the bar. It's something that you can still reach. It just takes time.
You love ball, so do I. It never leaves you, and at least for me, Game Point has brought me back to a place that I haven't been in over a decade, where I'm shooting in the gym here at Game Point, and it just, I could feel it in my chest again. I was like, I feel more like me. Mm-hmm. Why do you love the game still to this day?
I think that just comes with how in touch I was with basketball, how free it made me feel. I always felt like it was just connected to me as if me and basketball were one. So I think in growing up, that just continued to grow and grow more and more.
How has your love of the game evolved when we talk about that growth? Like, what does that love of basketball look like now for you?
I feel it's still the same. I've been a competitor all my life, and that's something I carry with me. I've always idolized Kobe, so I do take a high precedence in mindset and ensuring that if you want to work hard and achieve the things that you need to get done, that's what it takes. It's hard work.
If Kobe was sitting here right now, what's the first thing you would say to him?
Thank you for developing the game of basketball and making a guideway for athletes like me.
And the thing about this is people don't have to look like you for you to look up and appreciate them and appreciate what they teach you.
Right.
You don't have to be a man to appreciate Kobe. You don't have to be a woman to appreciate Candace Parker. You know, there's something to be said about the game of basketball. As I said before, is the game of basketball. So why was Kobe always just someone that you gravitated toward, and just like, why was he the person that you just felt like, hey, you got my attention, and he kept it?
I think from the moment I first started watching Lakers and watching Kobe Bryant play, his game was just gravitating towards me overall. His movements, his dedication to footwork, ethic. As I grew older and continued to watch Kobe, it was just someone that I realized I wanted to implement and really dedicate my game after.
What's something from Kobe's game that you felt like you brought into your game and you really felt like, I did this, I got this to work?
Oh, definitely footwork. I think that was a big thing with me. When I was younger, I really put precedence on footwork and really trying to nail down his turnaround fades, you know, his step throughs. His creativity with how his footwork was and finishing was just phenomenal. I think that was something that I wanted to incorporate in my game.
And an 81-point game at the end of his career, I believe. And not only that, but something I take from him, because him and I parallel in this way. When he said he sleeps 3 to 4 hours a night, I was like, yeah, I mean, when you love what you do, that's what you do.
Right.
So for Amani Free, for this edition of Who's Got Next, find your way out to Game Point. You can reserve time for yourself, your team, or your organization by going to gamepointsports-syr.com/courts. This is the edition of Who's Got Next with Amani, myself, Dan Tortora. We'll talk with you soon, and we thank Game Point and Jim Dispenza for everything that he does to help build up this community and give us something better, a beacon of hope, a beacon of light. No excuses. We had to do it outside. You can do it in here. No excuses for the future athletes that want to make it happen here in Central and Upstate New York. Thanks, Amani.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you.